Alright, we're back again, and did Skype just drop the call? I feel like it did, because now I'm having
I'm
issues.
still.
Oh, you're here? Warbeat, are you okay?
Yep.
Nope. Yep, sounds like he's having problems. So, I guess it'll be the two of us for now, because his internet seems to cut out pretty consistently. And that's fine, because we've got Salim a new mic here, and that's always nice. You know, we were having some issues with it early in game one. Figured take the break and switch it out, fix the problem, whatever. But
Yep.
Legion
Alright,
side,
so
there we go, and he's
I
back.
just happened to DC at the same time as I did last game.
Yeah, that's weird. It's almost like your computer knows when the game is starting and hates it.
Rhapsody.
But oh well.
DCs are always fun.
Legion side gonna ban out Magnus and Kraken, so two heroes that had a lot of impact last game will not be played in this game. Hellborn banning out Elephant and Swiftblade, so again a huge surprise that they're gonna get rid of those heroes. Ophelia first pick, in fact, over Rhapsody. As that's kind of interesting to me, considering
Parasite.
I don't know if Ogre has a Bunny General is their jungle player. I don't actually know if he plays Ophelia.
Chipper.
I'd have to assume that X Diamond / Gold team could do it, but
I think there are a fair number of teams that don't play Oath. I don't know if it's just because they don't feel comfortable in how well they play it, or if they just don't play it at all, but there's a lot of teams I think that just don't play
I
Ophelia.
mean, sometimes it comes down to having a really good Ophelia player, and then other times it comes down to not really wanting to play that kind of a strategy
Right.
and focusing on other strategies.
And it is, of course, a ridiculously hard hero to play. So, gotta give them credit for that. But Hellborn going for the magical damage burst here with Parasite and Chipper on top of that. Rhapsody, who is pretty unequivocally the strongest support in the game. I don't know if anybody want to object to that at all? I'll come at you if you do.
I think Monarch brings a lot more interesting abilities to the table, but
Yeah? Yeah, does it? Monarch? That's what you're gonna go with? Monarch, this guy. Alright, Monarch. Fix Monarch.
Sometimes
What's the
my
problem with
team
Monarch?
likes to pick Voodoo Jester against Ophelia lineups because of the long stuns
Right.
on Ophelia creeps.
I do
But,
like Voodoo Jester. I think that's an underrated support.
And other teams like to pick Glacius against Ophelias and Parasites because you can freeze the creep.
Mm-hmm.
But Rhapsody, it's hard to go wrong.
Let's talk about Monarch for a second, because this is a hero I think we've literally never seen. At least not in the last several months. What's wrong with
Well,
Monarch?
His stun travel time is too slow.
I'm sorry, it's stun, but
and-
yeah, that's okay.
Access.
Yeah, maybe make it a stun.
I hate immobilizes, even when they silence. Why don't you just make it a stun? What's the... Come on.
He needs that. I mean, Glacius got the nice little buffs. Why not Monarch? But I've heard that there's going to be some Monarch buffs.
That would be nice, because...
Spoilers.
It's kind of a terrible hero. I think, Salim, you had something to say? I don't know. Interrupted you.
Yeah. The only thing that I personally hate about Monarch is the crippling pollen. Like, it just takes too long to actually reach. And like, there are a lot of heroes currently in this meta, and they just counter Monarch big time. Like,
Yeah.
Bubbles, Magnus, etc. They
Silhouette.
can easily disjoint, and then you have a useless support.
No doubt. And it looks like Boarbeater has once again dropped. And I've noticed that one of the big problems with your microphone apparently was the fact that his microphone is providing a lot of white noise. So it's good we can blame him for stuff. I assume you're still here and it's just him not.
That's
Yep, okay, good. Then you're fine. It's just Boarbeater being this guy.
I'm back.
This guy. We're trying to do games and this guy is just... it's ridiculous. Anyway, Legion, both sides finished off their draft here. The Legion side finished with what? Meraxis and Soul Reaper. So the push is real for Rexars, and Hellborn going to finish off their draft with Silhouette, and what was their last pick? Bubbles. Okay. I didn't even remember what they picked before because you're talking about Monarch for some reason. I don't remember why. So, board beater, whose draft you favoring here?
This is a tough one to give a favor. I like Hellborn's heroes. I really like Chipper and Bubbles. And Bubbles can kind of keep the War Beast in place. Usually I like to see the Bubbles on the same team as the War Beast, so you can just kill everyone, but that didn't happen here. Soul Reaper I expect to solo safe lane against the Bubbles. Silhouette's going to need some help, so it'll be with Rhapsody, but I don't think they can mid. So that means Chipper will be solo mid against the Miraxis Torque, probably.
Alright.
And War Beast will suicide. That is my guess. And I think it'll be hard for any of Legion's heroes to die. I think all of their lanes are gonna win.
Yeah. I mean, they got Miraxis,
I mean,
crazy tanky, and...
I mean, obviously War Beast will only win as much as... Like, he'll do as well as any War Beast suicide will do. Which is, what, I don't know, whatever.
It depends on how good the War Beast player really is. Like, Keizu knows how to do this, but I think Suicide War Beast isn't that easy to play, so if you're not really...
Yeah, what I'd like to see is some cool plays to prevent the pull, like Parasite eating one of the wolves and
Right.
the rest of the team killing the extra.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised that happened.
We'll see what happens. It looks like War Beast didn't even try to pull with wolves.
He's sending it out now,
Oh,
so...
he's doing it in a different way. I've never seen this.
Yeah.
Is this
They're
a
gonna go
European strategy?
under the tower, okay, and take a whole bunch of damage. And one of them's gonna
they did what I
die,
said.
and the other one, yeah, is gonna be killed. Okay. But they're coming back out, and now he's got no mana. It's always fun.
So I guess I like what he was trying to do because he was trying to avoid what I was talking about, but the Parasite stayed like valiant about it. Like, I really want to eat this Hellhound, and he did it. So now War Beast is forced to try again.
Anyway, Salim, thoughts on these lineups? Any favoring anybody? Particularly?
I definitely like Hellborn's more than Legion, but on the other hand, if Legion is able to execute the plan they have in their mind, and I'm assuming that is War Beast not dying too much, then Ophelia picking up that fast Astral Ring, and then just grouping up and pushing. But if they fail during the laning phase, then their strategy is gonna bite them in the ass. They're gonna lose this game.
Right. I mean, they don't have a ton of late game potential, especially against something like a Silhouette. War Beast, obviously very annoying, but we talked about Bubbles and War Beast very often on the same team, and they do well together, obviously. Bubbles locking people down for War Beast, who does not have stun or slow and likes to just eat people, but on the other hand, you don't have a Shrunken Head, and War Beast hates Kelpfield, so...
I kind of like this Hellborn rotation of Rhapsody because Rhapsody can't do much against this pulling, so might as well just keep the Silhouette there. And Chipper's got that level 3, so maybe with the Rhapsody stun and 2 Chipper Rockets, heroes like Torture can die.
Right.
So we'll see if that happens at all. But
Complaints of DCs, but I wouldn't be surprised to see, this Rhapsody rotating pretty heavily, because Silhouette should be able to hold her own just fine against War Beast. And the only concern I have with them grouping up and dual laning mid is Chipper is such a level-dependent hero that taking experience away from him, obviously, not the greatest thing in the world. But on the other hand, it gives them legitimate kill potential as opposed to pretty much having to get lucky with the rockets on Torturer because you're not going to kill Miraxis.
Yep.
Bottom lane, meanwhile, Soul Reaper up against Bubbles. I have a really hard time believing Soul Reaper is going to kill Bubbles, at least until level 6. And perhaps even then. And
Bubbles dying will be more of a thing of he's frustrated and he's, I don't know, it'll have to be like a
Right.
greed factor or a misplay.
Right. Like,
I mean,
if
obviously
it's-
Bubbles, if he's like top tier, he can take cover or he can shell surf dodge the nukes.
Yep.
So- and he has leveled take cover, which I approve of in this lane.
I cannot tell you how many times we've seen Suicide Bubbles either not level take cover or level it and not level it until like level 5 or something like that. Like, it seems to me it should be level 1 shell surf, level 2 take cover, level 3 shell surf, and then maybe Song of the Sea if you're really good with take cover and you don't need the additional time. But
So I used to be a like always get take cover guy, and then like I don't know, once you try the no take cover, you like being able to kill people, even with the feed. I don't know. But Voxy might even get take cover in this lane because it's an unwinnable lane,
Right.
in my opinion.
actually on the side here, Rhapsody can get caught up by Torture, and Serenia on that Tort will get the Bloodlust. So well done to him. Top lane, meanwhile, Silhouette trying to get a kill on Warbeast and does so.
Jeez,
Bad.
he's got a red potion.
He's diving
Oh
pretty
my
hard
God.
here, and he's
That
gonna
was
need
a
to
misplay.
be. Yep.
Running into the tower.
But now he's gonna be in the woods, and Torture not quite gonna be able to find him. He looks like he'll be able to get enough health back to come back out, and then just
Oh,
leave.
I like the usage of
Yeah.
ulti to tank.
So that's gonna tank the impalement damage,
Wow, that
and
was-
he's gonna kill him. Yep. That
I
was
would
very
consider
bad.
that like a really good play.
But he's gonna die here. Nope, Parasite's coming in for the help. And Silhouette is gonna be okay. Rocky Balboa with the plays here. Meraxis is moving over, trying to help, but it's not gonna happen. And it's Demstrat's Chipper, which is a hero he's played a lot, so knows what he's doing here. He did die to Plicticit on that Meraxis in the middle lane. Again, complaining of DCs, so I don't know if both sides are getting that or what's actually going on here. Obviously, it's a replay, so I can't do a ping all.
Probably just him, you know. Usually half the chipper games I play, I DC and die, and I'll get mad, so.
I know Parasite earlier was talking about it, but yeah, I agree. I mean, when I miss my rockets, it's only because I DC, so probably something similar going on here. Or maybe it's legit, I don't know.
So Courier was actually sent to the observatory to buy wards. Kind of a cute little play. that
Yep.
I approve of.
DD Rune top will be
DD
controlled, and yeah, well done by Torture getting rid of that. He's gonna get
But
hunted down a little bit by the
maybe it
Skeleton
wasn't
King.
well
There's
done.
the nut, and the net, and there's the staccatos and the rockets. Easy kill. So he does deny the DD, but it's obviously taking a death for it. Not really the best thing in the world. Meantime, Soul Reaper in this bottom lane is 370 gold per minute, so he's absolutely crushing, especially because Silhouette's 2-0 and only 345 GPM, 44 CS for Soul Reaper.
So now here's the kind of frustration I'm talking about. Like, Bubbles wants to stay in lane, but like, if Soul Reaper ever gets close
The
enough to ulti,
Hellborn
he's
destroyed
gonna
a
die.
Legion tower.
So he
And
just chooses to die.
they're going to trade tier
The
1s
Legion
here,
have destroyed
as
a
top
Hellborn
Silhouette takes that
tower.
out, and bottom lane Soul Reaper kills that, but here comes the push, as here's
And
Warbeast.
the Warbeast is coming even. They might try to go net, like go base,
Yeah, I mean,
or force the ports back so then Meraxis can farm it a bit more.
they're going to kill a tier 2 tower
The
here in about
Legion
10
had
seconds.
destroyed a
So,
Hellborn tower.
if they keep this going, they're going to force port rotation because they can take a tier 3 at this point. It looks like they're going to back off. I feel like they should have at least forced the ports.
Oh, okay. Actually, maybe if they're gonna rotate mid right away, that's a better choice.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Well, I would have forced the ports, then backed off. Because what's the Hellborn team going to do right now? Yeah, you've got Kelpfield, but they really don't have enough damage to kill you. And once the teleports come in, even to a tier 3 tower where it's a shorter a shorter travel time, you can leave pretty easily. So you force the ports to bot, and
Well,
then you.
but there's
retreat
a kelp field. There's some danger
Yeah.
factor.
There's a Kelpfield, but there's also the Soul Reaper and stuff. They're pretty tanky at this point, especially with the Meraxis there. Kelfield, they're really doing nothing. Sawblade's going down, but the rest of the Legion side's walking into them, and Miraxis is standing on top of them. Finally activates the Matrix. Bigger along on that Soul Reaper will drop as here comes Silhouette. Try and kill this War Beast. He might actually be able to get out of here, yeah. No stuns left, and not quite enough damage to bring him down before he does XP. So 1 for 1 in favor of Hellborn as they take that solo short Soul Reaper in exchange for another death on Demstrats. And Sal, sorry, Iago.
I think there was very poor communication from Legion that fight, because Silhouette ported in the middle of all of them.
Yeah.
And so War Beast was
Soul
staying
Reaper
around.
manned up. I didn't see Soul Reaper die, but I saw where he died, and I also saw that he hadn't, like, they pushed mid while Soul Reaper had 1500 gold, and I wish he had used his money and brought it.
Work back there in Miraxis, and they'll be coming right back here into the middle lane as this mid tower is definitely going to fall. So actually, not a damage coming out onto this Ophelia especially, but they're going to try to chase this. Gotta be a little more careful about the Saw Blades. We'll see if Parasite can get out of here. Yes, he can. Bubbles getting jumped a little bit, avoiding the Axis, so he will be okay. So that's another tier 1 tower getting taken out, and the heavy push strat is being countered by the Hellborn team. They're not just letting them take free towers, they're definitely contesting these pushes. Off to the side, so like going to get spotted out by a ward, but nothing they can really do about that. No Portuguese or anything. Soul Reaper up in the front lines, along with Miraxis. Chipper going to drop right off the bat. We'll see if Torture can survive this. She's taking a whole lot of damage, but there goes Bunny General on the Parasite as well. Silhouette now having to get out of there as the War Beast is in ulti form. Gets stunned by Rhapsody, ends up being cute for them to back up there. But with a couple of kills, this is a tier 2 tower now.
Yeah, I think Legion's getting too many kills. It's too hard for Hellborn right now.
These heavy push strats, man, they seem to work out so well, and it seems to be so difficult to counter them. So.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
And yeah, we're back on War Beast, so 4 towers dead at 10.5 minutes, and this is what this lineup is supposed to do. So, nice to see them actually executing it, because again, I've seen that way too much, but...
The gold advantage does seem to be a bit low though for having just taken 4 towers.
Yeah, I mean that should
Which
have...
intrigues me. Also, Bubbles bought a bottle like a while ago. I thought that was interesting. I mean, sorry, not Bubbles, Silhouette.
Oh, yeah. That is weird, especially...
That was when he was really, really low, and Legion was just pushing bottom, so I guess he bought a bottle so that he could stay in lane and just keep farming. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion
Hellborn's
tower.
gonna push actually middle and take a tier 1, so they've taken 2 tier 1s of their own. And this gold lead is now down to 2,300. No experience lead. Top lane, tier 1 will be in a lot of trouble,
The
and that's going to
Hellborn
be
have
dead.
destroyed a Legion
Last
tower.
tier 1 actually gets killed in favor of the Hellborn, so Hellborn taking all tier 1s before Legion.
Yeah.
Legion have 2
The
tier
This is
Legion have destroyed
really
a
good
Hellborn
decision
tower.
making by Hellborn.
Yep.
They know they can't engage,
So just
so
counter
they're just double split pushing.
This also comes back to the point that Lucknow actually placed on the Legion side, and they could actually see Legion group up, and that gave them enough time to already be ready for counter push.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
So,
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
Here's the game deciding fight. It's about to happen.
Hellborn are all porting back. Parasite actually still in the bottom lane. Gonna have to be careful about engaging on this because it's a 4v5 to Kelfield on to 3. Looks like they're gonna jump Miraxis and kill him. Bubble's gonna be countered though. Nice ultimate from Rhapsody. Will save him. They also kill Soul Reaper because they're way deep in this base. Warbeast's now gonna have to run away. Minotaur stomp onto him though. Are they able to lock him down for long enough? Yes, the counter stuns are there. And it looks like the game deciding fight goes in favor of Shrek is Love. So we'll see if Warbeater is right on that assessment, but
Yeah, I forgot who wins the series, so it's purely me thinking that Hellborn wins after that.
I mean, that was a pretty great fight for them. As they killed 4 heroes. No buybacks used. But now, despite all outer towers being dead in favor of the Legion side, they are actually down in gold, and significantly so in experience, just over 5k now, at 13 minutes into the game.
So if I was Legion after that fight, I'd say like we gotta slow down. Let's make sure Meraxus gets his PK first before the next fight. Or, I mean, yeah, they got no pick-off potential, so they need the PK.
I felt like if they wanted to break base this early, they should have done it at the bottom push. I mean, they were killing towers. Hellborn really had no capacity to respond to that. And they let them back in by giving them 5 minutes before they legitimately started to push a tier 3 tower. Like, if you're going to wait that long, you might as well wait a little longer, like you said, and get the Meraxus PK, maybe get boots on Ophelia, as we've talked about before. Just saying. Plated Greaves could be nice. I don't know, Soul Reaper can finish something, maybe his Astrolabe or Gnome's Wisdom, whatever that is. Not Astrolabe, Abyssal Skull. Oh, I'd assume that Warbeast would be getting that, so probably gonna be Gnome's Wisdom. And yeah, felt like a premature push right there. One of the guys on Rexars. Easy to say in hindsight.
Yeah, I didn't really concentrate on like the items Legion had for that push, like if they had purchased and delivered items in time, like the Astrolabe, for example. But
I think they had the Astro, but they must have had, 12 to 1500 gold on the Soul Reaper, and I think they had about 1500 on the Meraxus because he's been saving up for his Coral Key for a long time. So they were relatively close to a few significant items, and they tried to take the push anyway. Always dangerous, of course. Silhouette now free farming top. They do have map control, which is nice, but they're not really using it. They only have one ward here in the top river. And
I'd say Hellborn seems to feel like they have map control,
yeah.
considering Chipper's farming bottom, Silhouette's able to farm top in his way, and Bubbles is manly enough to farm mid because he knows there's no PK. But he might be surprised about that soon.
Yeah. That is an illusion Silhouette, of course, so he'll be killed, but Cell in the meantime. Farm in the woods. Rocky Balboa at 500 gold per minute, all of a sudden. I'm kind of surprised that he's up that high. I guess 5-0 and 2, that kind of helps.
Yeah. He didn't die before?
No, he hasn't died yet.
Oh. Well, he's either really good or really lucky.
Could be both.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
He hasn't like dodged fights or anything. He was in the middle of
Right.
stuff. I think one important thing is that he was almost always there when Soul Reaper died. And
Yeah.
Soul Reaper was like the highest level and stuff. So he kind of capitalized on it.
And he has now level 12, so has that level 2 illusion. And has a
And
null
Soul
stone
Reaper's pushing
finish.
with 2100 gold on him.
Yep. And there's the jump by Bubbles in the background, because he's got a Portal Key. Rhapsody Ultimate in the background, saving some damage as the Saw Blades go down. We'll see if Soul Reaper can get out of this. Looks like he can, just barely. Last auto attack does not finish him off. And they're trying to lock down anybody that they can. Meraxus actually going to stop run top of Bubbles. Finally will get the kill there, but they counter onto Warbeast. So 1 for 1 so far, and now the Hellborn side are backing the opponents out of the base. They killed them before on the Ophelia. Torture also dropping here. Meraxus is going to take a death. That's the Silhouette. Yep, it's not the illusion. It's the real one. But the Arcane Shield
Time
did
for a
not
Mickey
get
play.
popped.
Mickey
And,
play.
yeah, drop the PK. Pick it up. I don't think he can. Yeah, he's gonna die. A little too much
It's a good thing
damage.
Soul Reaper bought back so he could port to that tier 2 and,
Didn't do
walk
nothing?
with treads too.
He didn't buy back, actually. I don't think he died. He got ported back by Ophelia.
Oh, okay. Well, what? Oh, so he bought stuff. Oh, he bought 410 armor. Okay. I think he bought the wrong kind of armor.
He couldn't have possibly done that before the previous fight, but I don't know. So he just bought that, and he bought a life tube. He's going for like 3 different items at the same time.
I forget how much a barrier. Barrier is pretty expensive. Look at the Torturer's items. I like the YOLO. See,
He's
he
tanky,
was doing what I'm talking about. Fire
Chipper jumping in
items
here.
for that push.
Into the wrong place because Torture had the backup. And I'm not sure why he thought he was going to kill a Soul Reaper. I guess Soul Reaper only has 1,000 health, but he does have vestments. And of course the Judgment, so thank you nonetheless. Legion side, like they're all in on this push, man. They keep trying to do this.
I mean, I guess so. They seem to be have the dedication, so maybe I'll give them the win.
I mean, if they can take Rax at 18 minutes, that's a significant deficit because the Hellborn's anti-push isn't really that good. But yeah, Chipper doesn't have a buyback. He's benefited for second 5 seconds. Actually, Kelphill into 4, so that's very helpful. Swap out from Silhouette. They're trying to kill a Minotaur for some reason. And these melee barracks will fall. Let's see if they can get anything out of it though. Warbeast dies in the background, just too squishy. Soul Reaper just barely misses 5 no fairs. They will finish him off here. And Serenia on that Torture also dies. Looks like Morax is getting an extra fall. He cannot do anything, so they keep jumping into this base and sort of feeding themselves. Chipper trying to chase down this. Oh, tree grapple coming in from Silhouette. Obviously doesn't have a Kuroki quite yet. There goes the Astrolabe out, and it looks like they'll be able to chase him down or her down. And she does have Plated Greaves, but not really enough there. Tree grapples so much distance on that.
Genocide.
Yeah, running away from a Silhouette is the least fun thing to do.
They do take the Rax.
Yeah, they got it.
And,
Oh, and Soul Reaper is going for the barrier idol.
yeah. Or at least for the Shamans early on. We'll see what
So maybe his team told him that he did buy the wrong kind of armor like that.
Against Chipper, Bubbles, and Parasite. Probably want a little more magic resistance.
I mean, considering the YOLO style they're doing, if they had focused on getting the barrier idol, they would not have died, I think. Or,
I feel like, and they're going to try Kongor here, which, I guess that could
if
work.
they get this, they're gonna win the game.
And
Game's
Kongor
over.
have no vision of it, so they're going to have to predict. And it looks like Rhapsody they realize it. So Rock
They're too out of position.
and the dance will go down as well. So we'll see if they can counter this. Looks like Silhouette running up from the back, and there's an Invis rune at the bottom. Somebody's going to have to get that. Actually, nope, Bubbles is in. Kelpfield on the 5, in fact. Here comes Silhouette, trying to counter the damage. Ophelia taking much damage. It's Soul Reaper the first one to die. She will fall next. And in the back, actually, Morax is finally getting the kill onto Bubbles there. But Serenia and the Torture are going to fall as well. Looks like Morax is getting chased out by Silhouette. And outside, Cluckmuck drops to Yellow Rexar on that
Kongor has
Warbeast.
been slain.
Morax is going to be able to get away, but
Well, we'll see.
Kongor
So,
dies to
like,
Hellborn.
YOLO.
Chipper has a token, and they're calling GG's.
Defeat.
Yeah.
Hellborn wins.
Okay. I mean, that might have been a game-losing fight because of the Kongor, but I'm not sure. I guess.
Yeah, they really needed that token
I don't.
to make anything.
I'm surprised. Sorry, but let's go to Salim final thoughts because we're in the middle of it and I interrupted you. So go for it.
Yeah. I just think that Legion, they have done a lot of misplays and a lot of fights mid-game. They seemed that there just was no communication, like targeting different persons and getting out of position. But if that didn't happen, then I think that Legion's draft was actually working out pretty good, but a lot of misplays and miscommunication. But I like Legion's drafts. Eventually Hellborn. No special draft, but it's basic, it's strong, and
Yeah.
you just can't afford to make mistakes like Legion did if you draft in that way.
Yeah, it felt
Requires
like
flawless plays.
it felt like they were getting perhaps even a little too aggressive. Like they had that great push, but they didn't necessarily have to win the game in 25 minutes. But Board Beater, final thoughts, game series, what do you got?
Yeah, so I mean, from the start, I did favor Legion's lineup, and I still favor it. And it does come down to mistakes. It's kind of about they should have adjusted their push timings to make sure that it was always like as much in their favor as it should have been. And that comes down to like buying items or like having enough mana, all that kind of stuff. And then like they got out split push, so that was good play by Hellborn, like good experience. Like inexperienced teams would have just straight up lost.
Right.
And Hellborn pulled it off. Big Rhapsody ultis in the base. I don't know. Parasite OP.
Parasite is OP. I agree. That tier doesn't have a few nerfs, but that does do it for the series. Winners bracket semifinals here. Trek is Love takes it 2-0, and they will move on to the winners bracket finals. Of course, trying to get back to Diamond Division. Rexars are dropped down to the losers bracket, so they're still in it, but not quite as likely to win anymore. Of course, they're gonna have to fight through some adversity if they want to get back to the grand finals. And that'll do it for